Hello, we are Geeks Assembled, and we have gathered here once again today. And today we are going to talk about the 1990s version of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film. And today we are going to start off with, let's start off with Stephen Price. What did you make of this film, Stephen? Do you like a bit of turtle action?
Well, I didn't watch it when it was released, and I'm sorry I watched it now. What a pile of rubbish. I turned it off about 40 minutes through the movie. I couldn't take no more. That's all I got to say.
Have you got a mouse in with you, Stephen?
No, it's a bird, it is.
Oh, it's a bird. I was wondering what that noise was. Thank God it's a bird. Brian, what did you think any better of it? Are your opinions any better?
Of what? Ninja Turtles?
Yep. That's it. That's what the cast is about.
Okay. Well, the original 1990s Ninja Turtles film, I absolutely love the Ninja Turtles film. I love all three of them. Because I grew up with the Ninja Turtle films. Whenever I see this film, I absolutely enjoy it, and it was actually a pleasure to see it once again because it takes me back to my childhood. So it is absolutely one of the greatest films of all time.
Really? Okay, you're driving Graham absolutely nuts. We've got to go to Graham. Go ahead, Graham.
My issue isn't with the fact that he enjoyed the first original 1990 movie. It was both the bloody sequels. As you've been saying. But anyway, getting back to this one. This is quite obviously a byproduct at its time, and it's a lot of fun for what it is. It takes its origin for the manga comics in the 87 to 96 TV series at the time. I get why it might not be Stephen Price's cup of tea because it's more kid orientated and kid friendly. Nice message of hope and family within this, mixed in with the inner conflict between Leonardo and Raphael as well. It's an independent movie. There's no names attached to this, with the possible exception of the cameo by Sam Rockwell dishing out cigarettes to young kids. Go figure. I have no idea what that was for in there, but there you go. But no, it's an independent movie. It's a lot of fun. It took advantage of what was a pop cultural phenomenon at the time. The soundtrack, I really enjoy the soundtrack in this movie. There's a couple of nitpicks. There's a couple of editing issues with this movie. You can obviously tell where they've done it on the cheap. You can't really grumble with Jim Henson's work and his animatronic workshop when it comes to the puppeteering of the Turtles. And you've even got some star power with the voice casting at the time with Corey Feldman playing Donatello as well. So I enjoy this. Is it the greatest movie of all time? No, Brian, it's not. But for kids back in the day when this thing aired, it's a lot of fun. It's not to be taken too seriously.
Thanks for that, Graham. Let's move over to Alex and Susan. And I've just realised Lee's changed all our names. I'm Splinter. That's fine.
Oh, I'm the one that does machines. Go figure.
Anyway, I mean, it is the first of three movies. The second one I didn't like so much, and it had Vanilla Ice in it. Ugh. But again, it's the 80s. I think it was done tongue-in-cheek anyway, the comic book. I did like the original cartoon. I haven't liked too many of the other versions that they've done since. And, of course, in some parts of this movie, it's semi-realistic. In other parts, it's not, which is fine because you shouldn't be taking it too seriously anyway. The soundtrack is really good. Turtle Power. And you have a couple of great cameos. You have Corey Feldman. You have Kevin Clash, who was known for Elmo, that now he was forced to retire. And they have somebody else doing that. Yeah, we have the another person doing his character now. Some parts are bad, some parts are good, some parts are. It's a mishmash. It has a little bit of the Japanese soap opera, which is fine. The death was sort of covered up, but I think he came back anyway. And they had Casey Jones. So, I mean, in a way, it kept to the origins of the comic book. It really wasn't exactly for kids. It was more the tongue-in-cheek teenage parody of comic books and Japanese and, the ninjas and all that other stuff. But hey, if you can come up with a good product, and it's been around for 25 years? And they've done many. I tried watching the new versions, and 30? They've done many versions, and I don't think you need to do many versions. And I like the original cartoon of it. I think it was pretty good. I like the original comic book. It just appeals to me more, the tongue in cheek, the sarcasm, the way they wrote it. I just really like it. As far as the movie, it's pretty close. They could have edited a little better. They could have taken out some dialogue, but considering that they were trying to run 4 plots at once, I did find it interesting how April O'Neil, when Casey Jones was trying to call her babe and all this other stuff, you could see that she didn't like it at all, which is kind of interesting. And I saw it in the theater here in Massachusetts, and it was pretty funny to see the reactions of, the people, and to see that people laughing at a rat doing karate moves and things like that. But yeah, I mean, it's a good movie. I like it. The other versions, no. The other movies, no. I think it was basically a 10-year joke, and it's stretched a little bit. But it was a good joke as far as it was originally written.
Well, I didn't really enjoy it like half that much. I'm pretty much, I'm pretty convinced that Henson did a great job, and like the voice work, but yeah, I never was into the comics or the original TV show. My brother was crazy for Ninja Turtles, and so I chafed at it, and so watching this, it's still like kind of like chafing against that thing. Anyway, it was okay. I didn't hate it, so I mean, it's got some stuff in it. Anyway, that's all I gotta say.
Yeah, it's definitely got some stuff in it. Yep.
You are destroying a valuable part of my childhood, by the way. Go suck a lemon.
Can I just say,
so you're my brother. So that's all.
Brian tried to upstage Alex by choking on his water bottle.
Wait, what?
Let's go to Lee, also known as Shredder.
Yes,
A glorified tin opener.
yeah, that was a good line. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Back in the day when it was changed in the UK to Teenage Hero.
Let's not go there. I know. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's an awful movie. It's a bad movie. The acting is diabolical, but it's so bad it's good.
There you go.
We've been through this before. There's no such thing as it's so bad it's good. Bad is bad. If you have a horrible cake, or eat a horrible meal, you don't go, that was so bad it was good.
Can I just say, by the way, as bad as you all think this movie was, it was an independent movie.
Yeah.
Distributed by New Line Cinema.
There you go.
And it's the highest grossing independent movie of all time. Cost $13 million to make and made over $200 million.
Yep. Oh yeah, you want to talk about bad and good? How about the time that they were on Oprah? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, that was something else completely.
Let's let Lee have his say, because he's a grumpy Yorkshire.
What I'm saying is, bad movies turn out you turn out to enjoy them more because.
Will you stop shaking that box? He's shaking that invisible box.
I did enjoy it. Yeah, I did enjoy it. As I say, you've got to give big thumbs up to the Henson team for the costumes, the animatronics, and the voiceover teams. But the humans acting in this were goddamn awful. That's what I'm trying to say. The acting.
Oh yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah.
was but the other parts, I just love the turtle designs and everything like that. I just loved that. And as Ali said earlier on in the week, he watched it, and after watching it, I fancied a pizza as well. I was starving.
I had a pizza yesterday, actually, because of it.
Yeah.
I get started of it for, was it Domino's? Or was it pizza?
Yeah, it's a nice little film. I mean, it's not.
It didn't have Pellison in
it, but it's got a cult. It's got a following. It's 90 minutes of just sit down. You don't have to think about anything. It's just an enjoyable
that suits people in home.
And you can see why it got sequels. You can see why it's got a following. Admittedly, the sequels.
Don't talk to me. No.
I've never seen the sequels. This is the only one I've seen.
Original trilogy. This is the best one of the first trilogy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So the sequels are that bad, are they?
The sequels are that bad.
After this, yeah.
Worse than Jaws sequels.
Up there.
Really?
Yeah.
Definitely
that
up there.
Pretty bad.
But you, Alid.
Well, this is the first time I think I've watched this. I've never been a big Turtles fan. I seen episodes when I was a kid of the TV series, and I didn't really get into it. It was all right, and I sat down and I watched this, and I thought, I'm not a fan of superhero stuff, but then this isn't really superheroes. It's kind of like Power Rangers, where you've got
Power Rangers on the superheroes.
Yeah.
Well, Aled, they actually did a crossover of Power Rangers with the Turtles.
Oh, dear God.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
What film?
No, it's a TV series thing.
The TV series? Really?
They're so good.
Yep.
Well, it kind of makes sense.
That was god-awful.
And I got to admit, when I sat down and watched this, I actually enjoyed it.
There you go.
It's an enjoyable movie. Lee is completely right. You can sit down and just watch it without thinking and enjoy it. Yeah, the acting isn't great, but that's fine. There's nothing wrong in that. The story's enjoyable. The characters are enjoyable. I like the costumes. I'm glad they're not, because these days, I imagine that I haven't watched the new one, but it'd be all CGI now, wouldn't it? All the turtles are CGI.
With the modern day one, the second one was a wee bit better, but it's a CGI first.
Yeah, and I like having proper costumes. Like Splinter looked absolutely brilliant. I thought he looked great. Because he was a puppy, he was an animatronic, wasn't he? Yeah. And he looked absolutely brilliant. Shredder, the person who played Shredder, the acting again, but the costume was good. I thought. He was a glorified tin opener, like the line says. But
the kitchen utensil.
I really did actually enjoy this film. I didn't think I would, but I did. I don't know why Stephen Price hates it so much. I mean, it's enjoyable. Stephen Price, would you like to answer why you hated it so much?
Just found it stupid, unfunny. Costumes are okay, and that's about it. Hated it.
Are you not a fan of the Turtles?
No.
Then why watch a movie?
I can tell you what he's
doing the cast.
You don't have to partake in everything,
Oh no, we force them. We don't you worry. We have our ways, Graham.
I can tell you what he's a fan of. He's a fan of the Power Ranger crossover.
Ryan, I never watched the Power Rangers, and I never will. So shut up.
Let's stick with this film. Does anybody have anything else to add? Because the floor is now open. Anybody can jump in.
I like sorry, go ahead.
No, on you go.
Go ahead, Susan, and then we'll go back to Graham.
I was just gonna say I like the parts where April is coming to grips with not not going after one of the turtles, that was cool.
And Graham, what was you going to say?
No, it's a couple of points. The rivalry between Leonardo and Raphael up to the point he gets his ass kicked and ends up in a coma in a bathtub for about 5 days. That was interesting. I also found it funny. You know, the scene after the antique store burns down, and they end up on the farm, and you've got April doing the art designs, and it's been years since I've been on the farm. Yeah. Meanwhile, the lawn's been mowed, the water's working, and the fridge is stocked. So who's been on that farm? Just saying, you know. Casey Jones, he was fine. The characterization of the Foot Clan, I'm sorry, what exactly was Shredder's agenda in this movie? Because at the start, all they seem to be doing is nicking Sony equipment. Is he going to, like, you know, sell Sony TVs on the black market? And especially,
he's got a stall. He's got a stall.
He's got to go to, you know, a wee market on a Sunday, and he's going to be there with his glorified antiques TVs, you know. And at the very beginning of the movie, there's this elderly woman with bunny earphones on. She's watching her TV outside, and she turns away. And one of the Foot members come up and knock the TV and run away. Didn't even unplug it. What happened there? Sloppy editing, but funny nevertheless. Other than that, the C plot with young Danny, the April boss's kid, I could take or leave that, but it did bring it all together when it came to demonstrate that the Foot Clan were essentially kids brought in off the street and shown, you know, and brought into this gang. Albeit when April was jumped in the subway, the leader of the Foot had a sneaky Japanese voice. Go figure, but that's just my take for it. It's good, it's bad, it's really bad, it's good in parts. I enjoyed it.
It's a mixed bag.
Yeah.
Anybody else want to say anything? Alex? What was you going to say, Alex? I can't hear you. You're not muted, I just can't hear you.
Testing.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, that's fine.
There it is. Yeah, I mean, I mean, like I said, that's what I mean by it's so bad it's good. In other words, you're still watching it. It's not bad enough that you go, oh, most people, they don't go, oh, God, I can't take it. But it is funny how, that part that Graham just said, and they also probably were stealing Sony because they were trying to stop the reboots of the Spider-Man. You know, they had a time travel. I'm sure there's a lot of people that would have appreciated that, Graham.
Anybody else have anything to add? Lee, you're very quiet.
I just like the thing, you know, like they are just the made to be teenagers. You know,
Yeah.
you know, instead of give me 5, it's give me 3 because they only had 3 feet. I just love that bit. Where April's unconscious on the sofa, and which Taylor says, "Oh, can we keep her?" I mean, it's just little things like that. But it is the costumes what make it, and the attitude of the teenage turtles. To be honest, what do it? And they don't give a damn really. They just when they want to meditate, what they're doing, they're dancing about the room and watching TV, and stuff like that, you know. And as Ali said, Splinter, which is I just thought Splinter was brilliant.
Yeah, he was very good. Yeah.
Maybe if I sit in the back of the room and meditate, they will obey me.
But But I don't know why they had to add another voice actor doing Shredder.
Because James Sato probably didn't have a good grasp of the English. I don't know if he did or no, but you know.
Well, I don't know. It's just I thought, well, you've got the actor there. He's human. He's not in latex or anything like that. Just have his own voice, but you could tell it. You could tell he wasn't speaking it because you could see the lips under the mask moving, but it won't move into the thing.
We nail love for Master Sentai, the wee baldy guy, the wee right hand man. No, baldy guy, nail love for Kung Fu Kojak. No? Hello.
Anyone else have anything to add before we go to final say and score?
Well, just to clarify, Judith Hag must have made one hell of an impression in this movie because in the subsequent sequel she was replaced with Paige Turco. So, yeah, whatever.
Anyone else, Susan? Nothing? Right, we'll go to final say and score. Let's go. Let's start off with Graham, since he's unmuted.
Am I muted? No. All right, there we go. Cowabunga, dudes. Mate, look.
Oh,
it's good in places. It's bad in places. I enjoy this. I can put this in at least once a year and still get a kick out of it, even some 28 years later. People can hate on it. People can love it. It's up to you. It's individual taste. I enjoy it. Let's get into it.
Once a year, you need your medication changed.
No, I don't.
Let's go to Susan and Alex.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's so bad, it's good. Remember that they had a limited budget. It was an independent movie. Considering the time that it was still technically the 80s, it was, it was good in terms of the special animatronics and all that. They tried to mix in a lot of pop culture references. I love it. They did a pretty good job with that. The soundtrack is good. The, Shredder and Splinter are good. You have cameos from, in the voice work, you have Corey Feldman, you have Kevin Clash, you have Sam Rockwell as one of the Utes.
Cigarette dispenser.
Yeah, I mean, it's enjoyable. Is it perfect? Is it a great movie? No. But then again, it's about turtles who eat pizza. So it's not going to be intellectual. And even the new versions aren't intellectual. And they may have more characters in them, but it just doesn't feel the same. Megan Fox.
What's she got to do with this? Don't mention that skinny boot. Come on.
I know, the reboot. You don't want the reboot. So the other two movies aren't as good. I'd give this probably an 8. Like I said, it also is special because I saw it in the theater, and it was very funny.
Me and you could fall out. You just gave Doctor Who a 7. And
no, that Doctor Who I gave a 7. It was a missing episode. But anyway, yeah, it was very funny to see that in the theater and the audience reaction. And sometimes I really wish it wasn't as expensive as it is now. And I really wish it wasn't as fast and as technological as it is now, because there was certain fun watching certain movies in the theater and hear the audience reaction and the audience reaction to jokes and things like that.
Can I just say, I love how Alex sums it up. It's about turtles eating pizza.
Yeah. and to do ninja.
Go on, Susan.
All right. Well, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. It was all right. It wasn't. I mean, but it's like you guys are like my brothers, and I'm just like not into this. Never really have been. Kind of. It was okay to watch it, but it wasn't super cool. It wasn't cowabunga or anything.
Cowabunga.
Your enthusiasm is palpable.
Let's go to Brian.
It's
final say and score, Brian.
My turn. Well, let's see. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I probably would have to give this. Considering that it's probably one of the favorite movies I love of all time, since I grew up with it, I would probably have to give this a 10 out of 10.
A 10 out of 10. Wow. Now, Stephen Price, are you going to go lower than a 10?
Well,
I bets on this.
I hated it. Totally hated it. So it gets a 2 out of 10 from me.
How can you get 2 if you hate it?
I hate it.
Well, why not get a 0?
It's rubbish. It's not my type of movie.
So are you going to give it a 0?
No.
Or are you going to give it a 2?
I'll give it a 2 because of the costumes, that's all.
Oh, there you go.
Wow. So, Lee, are you going to go higher or lower than a 2?
Well, it's like
Good game, good game. Yeah.
All right, Brucey.
You don't get everything repaired in this game. Yeah.
No.
What about a pizza?
I'm not giving it a 2. No. I enjoyed it. I agree with what everybody said. It's slightly dated now. It's 1990, slightly dated. The soundtrack is good. What was it? The single Turtle Power was #1 in the UK. I don't know if it was #1 in America.
Really? There was obviously nothing out at the time.
It was Mr. Blobby.
Mr. Blobby. Oh, Mr. Blobby. Yeah.
So I'm gonna give it 8.
What? I didn't, an 8?
An 8. I'm giving it an 8.
No, it's floating around. Yeah.
8 pizzas out of 10.
8 pizzas. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Lee. I enjoyed this. It was a good watch. It was fun. It's not taxing, you don't have to really think about it. And you can just sit there and enjoy it. I don't know why Stephen doesn't like it. I don't know whether he's had a traumatic experience with turtles and pizza. I don't know.
He jumped on a pepperoni once.
I'm going to give it a 7.5. I'm going to give it a 7.5 because it's a fun watch. It's a decent watch. It's got its flaws and it's got its faults, but ultimately I enjoyed it, and I think that's the main thing. You sit down to watch a film to enjoy it, and if you've enjoyed it, then that's worth something, isn't it? So I'm going to give it a 7.5. Anyway, tell us below what you think of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the 1990 version. I'd like to thank everybody here for joining me. I'd like to thank you for watching. Look after yourself. Take care. We will see you next time.
Ooh,